Derivatives trading involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results.
So stressful when the world's on fire. Good God. I can't look at this, guys. Like, my strategy is you buy it and you hope that you got a good spot. Yeah, but we all think you're crazy. You don't fight this. No way. The markets are freaking out and you don't think that anything is wrong? Come back tomorrow and I'll lose it all. Should be fun. I had the microphone muted. Good morning, everybody. It is Wednesday, the 15th. Am I right? It's the 15th. I'm getting pretty good at this, knowing what date it is thing. Well, we had a, interesting day yesterday. I know you guys want to talk about the debates, of course, but there's also some crazy stuff going on in the market. Story late yesterday, well, not late yesterday, but kind of more in the afternoon hours about that the trade deal tariffs will not actually come off until after the election. Kind of a vague headline. In fact, let's just come here and check. We come over here. I bring up CNBC. I don't see anything about it. Mnuchin says more tariffs will be rolled back in phase 2 of the deal. I don't know what. Maybe the headline is bullcrap. I don't know, but they're saying that they don't come off until after the election. This might be. I don't know. The market seems to be a little unsure about it. But it's not like the lead story on CNBC, even though we had like a huge move. Well, it wasn't a huge move down, but let's come here and look at the volume profile. You can see here we were doing pretty okay. Then we had this just got creamed. We did not go to the, like, previous day's lows though, so the market's still unsure about this move. Treasuries though, just up and up and up and up. Pretty good up. I mean, we're here before where we were at with the whole Iran thing. So yeah, interesting. We do get some news today. So we got PPI. I want to keep a good eye on this market though. Uzi, so stressful when the world's on fire. It is, right? I tell you what, man, trading is stressful. We were making fun of me yesterday because I was leaning back like this, and apparently being in that E-mini trade and losing $5 was a little bit stressful for me, and it didn't look too good. Oh man! Oh, well, let's turn on the Texas speech here for you guys. All right. Mm-hmm. There we go. Man. Yeah, I don't know about this tariff thing, man. I find this whole story is incredibly interesting. That one, the way that one, I don't know, went down, I guess you could say. The way that one went down was a little weird. Docs, TTS. Oh, I have some things that are outdated and that they want me to update. That's interesting. Let's come over here. Let's see what are the numbers that we're looking for. Forex Factory. This week, January 12th through the 18th. Yes, Wednesday. Core PPI. We are looking for a reading of spot 2 versus a previous reading of negative spot 2. And the PPI being spot 2 with a previous reading of 0. Now remember, core is the change in the price of finished goods and services sold by producers, excluding food and energy. What else we got? Crude oil inventories, FOMC members speaking much later in the session. Oh, yeah. Okay, Beige Book. We have Beige Book at noon. Also, the text of the agreement is going to be released after they sign it. So, yeah. Yeah. Kind of, I don't know. Man. Am I missing something? Oh, yes, Discord. There's definitely going to be some move off of this PPI, I think. But we might be somewhat constrained because of the trade deal. I think that what you're going to see is you're going to see some trade off of the PPI. If it's under expectation, we might move up a little bit. And then you'll see like really odd movement. Like it'll be constrained, but then we'll have like huge moves out of nowhere. Possibly as though some people were know something. You know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? Breaking. Multiple rocket alerts triggered on the Gaza-Israel border. Well, we got about 5 minutes. I have a bagel here. I guess I can do this, and we'll get the PPI out of the way. And then we can talk about the debate last night. Oh man, Cardi B clashes with Trump supporter after saying she might run for Contrast. I'm about to violate. Oh, I got to see this. I have got to see this. We can do this after the news. Oh, we still got a minute. I can stuff my face here. It's okay. It's okay. All right, 10 seconds. Hmm. Okay, I see spot 1 versus spot 2 expected. Market did not really react to that. Hold on. Interesting. Core PPI spot 1 versus expected spot 2. PPI spot 1 versus an expected spot 2. That is bad. Market doesn't care. I didn't buy that. Not part of my plan, but I think you buy that one right there. 10.5. Interesting. Why are they not reacting to that, guys? Well, that's weird. Almost no reaction. If you could have gotten filled at 10.5, congratulations. I think he got a good spot there. I don't know, friends. How are you guys doing out there? This is just a really quiet market, considering that we just had PPI. Look at that. Oh, there's another uptick. E-mini kind of suggesting a slight turn there. How are we doing on the frames here, by the way? YouTube saying it's not. I hope it's video playback smooth for you guys. I don't see a ton of skipped frames, but YouTube is complaining about it. Just weird. There you go. Another good tick up. I think the 5-year looks like they're going to drag us up. Is that how I want it? Sure. See if they line up and go for it or not. Okay, so there's a little bit of there's a robot selling at 12 in the 10-year. Yville, we are going to get stuck within the range. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so then downtick. They're not gonna let it come out, huh? I didn't really get a well, I did in the E-mini. E-mini kind of says the E-mini is gonna come back there. I guess the E-mini kind of dropped a little bit on that news too. Let's read this Cardi B story. Where'd it go? Ugh, I'm gonna sneeze here. Ooh. I feel like I have allergies. Maybe I do. Maybe I do have allergies. Sneezing, my eyes are watering. Ugh, another downtick. Curious. So we're back to the news price almost. Cardi B clashed with one of President Trump's supporters on social media on Tuesday after the blogger took a dig at her following comments she recently made about entering politics. The Bodak Yellow rapper born Blakaris Belcalis Elamanzer. What? That is her name? Cardi B. Huh, okay. Captured headlines on Sunday after she announced on Twitter that she was thinking about entering the political arena. I think I want to be a politician. I really love government, even though I don't agree with government, she tweeted to her 8.8 million followers. She revisited the matter on Monday, writing, I do feel like if I go back to school and focus up, I can be a part of Congress. Where do you live? Where does she live? Cardi B. What is the word that I'm looking for? Live. Her residence. No, that's not what I want. Born in Manhattan, raised in the Bronx. Where does she live? She just bought a massive Atlanta home. Yeah, I don't know about that one. I don't think that there's a good opening for you, Cardi. So there's your first lesson is if you want to think about being a politician, there needs to be an office for you to run for that you stand a chance of winning. And if it's at Atlanta, I don't maybe. I don't know. What's Rand Paul saying? No, AOC, the world will not end in 12 years, but we must absolutely do something over the next 500 million years. Some say we should develop a space shield to protect us from the sun's increased luminosity. I'm not against... My gosh. I'm not against that, but it will only be a temporary respite, maybe a few million years. I do think we should also begin genetically altering O2-producing organisms to send to Saturn's Titan and possibly the closest planets outside of our solar system. What do you say, AOC? Uptick. Man. How are we doing here? I haven't heard my text-to-speech thing go. Does it still work? Is it still working? I'm not hearing anything.
Speculator Seth says test.
Okay. It takes a bit. It seems a little slow.
Uzi Knesset says because no one's talking lol.
I know, right? Well, you know, it's a slow day. It's okay. You guys were so chatty yesterday. I know what happened. We talked so much yesterday, and we were like, well, we really need to think about what, and then y'all decided, well, maybe I should be quiet then. That's what happened. I scared you all off. I'm sorry. Kind of stuck in a tight spot here. I don't necessarily like. So now we're halfway in between the news move. Maybe kind of more to the upside, I guess. Still not getting a signal of any kind. So we wait. Some stacked at 120. Sorry, 12. You know what? Reading out prices in bonds is a little hard sometimes. Because I read that and to me it says 120. But it's not 120, it's 12. It's 12 even. 12 even, the high is 12 half. How many people out there do you think there are that would trade bonds if they weren't scared away by the price? Okay, something's happening. The E-mini is moving down. U.S.-China pact paves way for increasing purchases of U.S. soybeans, other farm products, says the Global Times.
Claudio Ibarola says, hi, nice opportunity to ask. How do you look for a good location or spot when you trade?
Oh, yeah, great question. Man, what are they doing? Okay, so what I'm often looking for is oddities in prices. Well, from the DOM. I mean, there's so many different ways that we can take that, but the way that I want to take that for you today is DOM reading. So when I'm reading the DOM, I'm going to be looking for how it reacts to individual prices. So, just as an example, there's been 15,742 contracts traded at 12 today. Okay. And there's been 6,000 traded into it just right now. Do you see that 6,124 at 12 in the 10 year? I'll highlight it. See this right here? So there's an iceberg at 12. When they first touched it, they bought up into it and they stacked some at 12, and those guys immediately sold it what was at 12. Multiple orders. Okay? So there's something about that price. If you were really adamant about shorting this, 12 might be a good spot. I know it seems scary because that's like the high of the day, and you never know. It can go higher or it can go lower, and who knows what it's going to do. But there is something about that price. Somebody big is interested in that price. And so that might be a good spot. Something that I think is even better, though, is say we tick up and there's not a whole lot of liquidity there, and they could totally have every chance to hit it and take it up, but nobody ever does it. Nobody out there is interested in paying up to buy that price, right? That tells you something too. Lack of interest in a price, I think, is maybe a little bit better of a probability of a thing sometimes, right? So those are kind of the sorts of things that I look for. Aberrations that tell me that a particular price is or is not likely to trade. So conversely, on the other side, they seem more than comfortable at trading 11.5, right? So if I really wanted to buy it, I know I could get in at 11.5, but I would probably be. Well, they want me to update Windows. Remind me tomorrow. I'll restart it after the stream. Okay, now they're pulling here. What's going on? So, what's up? What's up? I think you buy that. I cannot. It's not part of my plan. Ooh, I want to buy it so bad, though. Oh, I would have just bought 11.5. That's what I'm saying. So, like, the reason I say you want to buy, below 11.5 is like, look, now it's gone bid. You could sell right into it if you had to. There's a really good chance that that price is going to trade a bunch, whereas this price, not so much. Look at the drop in the profile. You can see it there in the profile. Sometimes you can't see it in the profile, but that's there's a spot. If we continue to move up, they might run though, because there's going to be all these positions built up in here. Wonder how much we got here. I don't know, but there was a pretty decent pickup in cumulative delta. I do not know why the E-mini moved there.
Claudio Ibarola says many thanks.
No problem. Man. I mean, a lot of it is kind of going to be contextual too, right? Like, you kind of have to know what is it that they've been reacting to this morning, and what is my larger biases based on the forces that I know of in the market. So, like, right now it's Wednesday. Sometimes big firms like to make moves on Wednesday, but because we got this trade deal thing coming out, the market's been constrained, and you're kind of already seeing what I thought we would see, where it's really slow, but then you'll get these bouts of volatility, then you can't explain them because not everybody has the information. Somebody clearly got notified of something there. Okay. Giuliani Associates Ukraine insider thought Russia was protecting fired U.S. ambassador. I don't think that's it. I don't know. It was weird. But, if I wanted to buy, I can look at it and I can say what prices would it be hard for me to get filled at, right? If I put in a limit order at 11.5, I think you would have an okay chance at getting filled. Okay chance at getting filled. There's 21.91 on there right now. Let's see how much trades into it. Let's see if you tried to buy now, if you would get filled or not. So I'm not seeing people aggressively hitting into 12 yet. Although that move in the E-mini and the bowling in the treasuries suggests some sort of volatility, people will tend to buy treasuries. Okay, 1407. See, you would have gotten filled, and look, they're going to trade back and forth there quite a bit. Like that's the price that for the moment there's agreement on it, right? So if you got filled below 11.5, you're pretty happy, right? You could just take the one there at 11.5 if you had to. All of a sudden you decide, oh, you know what? I don't like this. That uptick bothered me. Whatever. Hit out at 11.5. You know that it's going to go back and forth. So you were better off buying down here. Now, sometimes that'll change. Sometimes all of a sudden it'll be like they'll pull it at 11.5 and nobody hits into it. And then you go, oh, okay, something's changed.
Tom R. says, do you only trade bonds?
No, I do not only trade bonds. I've been taking some trades in the E-mini. I've actually been taking more trades in the E-mini, but my performance in the E-mini so far is mixed at best. I'm up a little bit of money in the E-mini, but not a lot. Of course, the size that you're trading in the E-mini is a lot less. Rather, the micros, you're talking like $1 a tick, whereas on the bonds, it's like $15 a tick. But I know the bonds kind of screwed me over in December too. We've had our struggles. I really like bonds though. I have to say, like in terms of like which one interests me, I find bonds infinitely more interesting. I can't sit here and give you this big long thing about an individual price in the E-mini. Sometimes there are prices that kind of show things, but in the E-mini it tends to be ranges, and it can be really a little difficult for me to catch. You see here, they moved up. There wasn't a ton of volume. They weren't trading like super huge up in here, but then they just kind of turned down, and I can't necessarily explain that. It looks like that they want to go short again, though. I think some of that move down was stops being triggered. I just don't see what caused it.
Live Action says Axia has a new elite trader video. Adam said he does not use charts or market profile. His ladders had no volume on them and he made over 250K.
Wow. His ladders didn't even have volume on them. So was he literally just trading off of the price movement on the DOM? Like he didn't even have the thing that was telling him how much was trading at each price or anything like that? And also, I guess, which instrument? I guess the instrument would matter too, huh?
Live Action says no YRS.
Look at that. Okay, so they got through the big order at 12. And look, really healthy stack
Live
at 12.
Action says trades flow.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, it depends on the instrument. I think you would have a really hard time trading the 10-year without being able to see the volume in the level 2. But there are other instruments where you can totally get away with it. Especially a lot of the things that they like to trade over at Axia because they're in Europe.
Harlequin says he traded Bund, S&P and gold.
Okay. So he's stacking it up there at 12 now, and there's another iceberg at 12 half. The pressure is certainly up. When I start to see this sort of stuff, though, my current strategy is to just wait for those to resolve themselves first, because that's indications
Trader Joe says morning.
of turning. Good morning, Trader Joe. Got a couple of good new names today. I guess a couple of people probably tuning in because he caught us during the debate last
Gary
night.
Rich says good morning.
So there's another new low. Look at the stops triggered on that one. They ran. I wish I was involved in this one, but I don't know if I really have a clear spot in the E-mini that I feel confident I could get in. I feel
Ace Trade says morning.
Oh, there's Ace. That might help. If they get below like 78.50, that's a key level I'm going to be looking at. Yeah, 78.50. Man, I'll tell you what. On the Axia guy, I would like to see his longer term performance. I would want to see, like, is he mostly trading news events?
Gary Rich says, did y'all recover those IQ points lost watching the Dem debates? I gained some not watching.
By not watching. I thought it was one of the better Dem debates, but I don't know. The thing that strikes me that, like, I wasn't thinking about this last night, but then I woke up and, like, this was the first thing on my mind was, like, Iowa is in 3 weeks. Pete Buttigieg is doing really well in Iowa. Nobody went after him. What is with that? Okay, interesting. They hit back into the 12. I ain't getting an overextension there, so I can't take it, but I'm a little suspicious about that they were trying to make it look like it was going to run through. But I don't understand what's going on in the E-mini. I don't. The last thing I see is China's imports to rise significantly. There seems like there's some piece of news out there percolating out to the market that hasn't reached us yet. I don't know what it is. Anyways, yeah. Pete is up in there.
Live Action says one of the new traders accidentally flashed his results. It appeared to be 30% rate.
Like a 30% win rate? Accidentally. Like they don't show it often?
Harlequin says, I'm curious if a Democrat is going to be the next president. Which one would be your favorite and which one is your least favorite?
Oh, man.
Live Action says why.
Well, so like I was saying last night, I think that I have money on Pete Buttigieg. I think that he stands an excellent chance. Okay, another spoof showing up at 11.5. Interesting. Nothing at 11. He is extremely articulate, man. That guy has a way with words. You notice it's not like fancy words or anything like that. It's just kind of, and yet he still comes off extremely articulate. I guess he knows multiple languages. He is gifted with words. I don't know how he is with voters, like, personally interacting, but he's good. If I was a Bernie Sanders supporter,
none are my faves. Dem as president equals 25% drop in markets.
I right now, I'm thinking about my video. I'm going to make a video for my politics channel. Do I still have the link in my clipboard? No, I don't. Let me go get the link here for you guys. All right.
Harlequin says wanna see him versus Trump during a debate because Trump has the best words. Lol.
Trump has the best words. Yeah, I was reading this thing the other day that was like, Donald Trump has the lowest reading level in what he says, and I'm like, that's a plus.
Action says in 25% is conservative estimate.
In politics, that's a positive. Like, when you use too big of a words and people, I struggle with that. I struggle with that. Okay, here's my link. So here's my politics channel. I only have one video on it. I'm gonna make another video sometime before Monday.
Speculator Seth says,
I'm gonna try and pump it out as quickly as I can, but you know, I'm still gonna go to the gym and everything. So maybe if I can't get it out before Friday, then it'll come out on Monday. And we'll have a video on this channel too.
Gary Rich says Joe Biden is the Dems candidate. All the others are crap. Take that to the bank.
Anyways, yeah, so I have money on Pete. I think that he stands a really good chance of winning. But when I'm thinking about my video, you know, the people that tend to click tend to be Bernie Sanders supporters for some reason. And when I'm just looking at the way that things are in this debate,
says you're insane, lol.
When I just think about the way that this is going through, I kind of identify with the Bernie Sanders supporters in a way. Like, holy crap, Elizabeth Warren pulled some dirty stuff this week. They had a private conversation, and she is lying about the private conversation. Yeah, we'll see. I don't think it matters.
Lucy Knesset says Pete will never capture the Dems' holy grail minority vote.
I'm telling you, they will come along. That's where I feel like that you guys care too much about the demographics. The demographics of like they're Hispanic or they're black and those sorts of things, those matter in the general election, but in the Democrat primary.
Gary Rich says Seth Bering. Yeah. Uzi Knesset says it does matter. It matters in a way it makes you uncomfortable to admit.
In the primary, I think that the ideological gulf between the far left and everybody else matters much more, and you're much more likely to get a moderate. You just are. I mean, honestly, last night, this is just me. It kind of felt like they were going after Bernie at times. I felt like they were harsher on him. On the other hand, I don't believe that is true, but it felt like it. I was seeing a lot of people on Reddit kind of felt the same way. They asked the other candidates hard questions, so I don't know what it is about it that makes me feel that way, but it seems to me like they were harder on him.
Live Action says Warren needs to have a powwow with HERE staff on damage control.
Yeah,
Easy
right?
Knesset says the DNC definitely doesn't want Bernie. Gary Rich says Seth betting on his candidate proves he needs to not trade. ROFL.
Well, it was like $10. I have $10 on Pete, but you know what? That trade is going pretty well. He okay. So let's finish on the minority thing, right? You're more likely to get a moderate, okay? That's what's going to matter the most, and whoever it is that they coalesce behind, the minorities are going to, whatever the barrier is, like that's the thing. And this is the other thing. There is nothing fundamental about Pete Buttigieg, about what he believes or what his policy is that makes him bad for minorities. It's just a storyline. It's a media storyline. And the media storyline, if he wins the nomination, the media storyline will be how they made it with minority voters. And the honest truth is the reason that the way that he's going to make it is by winning contests. So he's really well positioned in Iowa. He does well in Iowa, and Joe Biden fades.
Lucy Knesset says there's a thing about him that does. It's hilarious how hard people steer to avoid admitting it. Yeah. Gary Rich says Seth, I want $10 of my donations back for your bad bet. I'm rolling a newspaper. Bad dog.
I think I'm still up on it, right? Let's see. Let's go look. I was up on it a little bit. It was kind of meandering though. I lost out on the Kamala Harris one though.
Harlequin says better to invest $10 in Garlicoin.
Oh, he's at 9 cents now.
3,280.25.
Okay. I'm gonna wait. I want to follow it, but I don't know. Let's do this. Let's just watch it. 8.25. I don't understand what's going on. I want to understand what's going on before I take something. Anyways, yeah, no, I understand that it's because he's gay. I mean, here's the thing that's funny, is that he was doing really well, and then there was that whole cave thing came out, and everybody left him for dead after that. Okay, but like, I don't think that the Iowa voters know it. It doesn't. He's still doing well in polls. He's still well positioned to win Iowa. It didn't come up in the debate. So I still believe that he has a very strong chance. And it's curious to me that he's doing so well and they ignored him. That nobody really went after him on anything. They just continue to allow him to be really articulate and have good debates. I find that weird. You guys don't find that curious? It's the thing is like, these are Democrats you're talking about. Like, this idea that because
Live
he's
Action
gay.
says can't confirm herd report China deal _equals 200 billion in ag purchases.
Okay. That could certainly be part of what's going on. Anyways, so going back to it, in this larger contest though, I feel like identifying a little bit with the Bernie Sanders supporters because Elizabeth Warren.
Eric Cages says crypto is killing it. 100% up moves in a day. Uzi Knesset says, geez, I am gonna have to buy a high today, confused face.
Oh, they're still just around 8,600. I don't know. Look at them buying them treasuries. Am I finally gonna get a signal? This is close. This is close. Yes, right there. This is against trend though. I don't know, folks. Nope.
Uzi Knesset says 58.25 value target for ZB. Eric Cages says look at altcoins. 70% gains all around.
Oh, did they pump the altcoins finally? Interesting. Nope. Shouldn't do that. Ugh. What is this market doing? Hit me. Cool. The sim is being weird. Okay. I'm going to feel really dumb if they come back to 12.5 now and the trade would have worked.
Uzi Knesset says it's buying up, lol.
The trade says that they should pause there. I don't know. That level 2 is really making me nervous. I'm having flashbacks here. No, you know why I'm so nervous about this is because of
Eric Cages says Bitcoin SV is higher in market cap than Bitcoin Cash.
Yeah. So, and what does that tell you? What does that tell you? I'm getting distracted. I wanted to finish talking about the Bernie Sanders thing. When I'm thinking about my video, I kind of feel like I identify with Bernie Sanders supporters a little bit because she lied. They had a private conversation. He's lying about the conversation. It's a he said, she said thing, but come on, honestly, does anybody really believe that Bernie Sanders says a woman can't be president? Come on. They're totally lying and misconstruing about it. But then they get there in the debate. It barely comes up. They mention it one time. She kind of says, well, yeah, he's lying. But then she like completely deflected. And Bernie doesn't do a thing. Can you believe this? It's like, here's the thing is that People say, I've heard it said many times that Bernie Sanders is a cuck, but I mean, she's fucking him over and he's enjoying it. So maybe he's just a masochist. I don't mean to be crude. I don't understand a better way to express what I feel is going on here. I can't believe that he let her get away with that. And this is a critical debate here going into Iowa. Take a breath. You have too much faith in politics. We're going into Iowa here. And that was a critical debate going into Iowa. And there's some shenanigans happening before the debate. And what is Bernie doing? Nothing. I find it so perplexing. Like, I don't know. Maybe you need new staffers, Bernie, because I do not think that they gave you a winning game plan going in there. Because your game plan should have been destroy. Joe Biden, come on. This has been going on way too long. There's no way that he's going to win president. Take him out. Why Kamala Harris was not afraid to go at him. Why is everybody playing it safe now? The caucuses are in 3 weeks. And then he just kind of lets Elizabeth, like, the armistice is done. But he didn't fire back. He got it. It reminds me of that time when he was like at a speech and the Black Lives Matters guys came and took over his political rally and he just sat down. I was like, what are you doing, Bernie? So weird. Anyways.
Boozy Knesset says my buddy just cashed out $3K in BTCSV over the weekend. He's pissed right now, lol. Air Cages says Craig Wright was Satoshi all along. Gary Rich says take a breathe, Seth. You have too much faith in politics, lol. ROFL.
Oh, I saw that
Boozy
live
Knesset
action.
says Avenatti arrested again, lol.
I saw that. There was a staffer in Milwaukee that was basically like, the city's going to burn if Bernie doesn't win. And I'm like, you do not want your staffer saying that. 13.5 was where I got in at. I would have gotten filled at 13. Wouldn't gotten filled at the 2 though. I still don't know what's going on. So let's see if I see anything in the crypto universe. I remember there was some stuff going on with Craig Wright and whether or not he had like $1 billion in Bitcoin to sell and all of that nonsense. And he's been doing this thing where he'll fake a signature. Yeah. So here's the thing. You say that Bitcoin SV has a higher market cap than Bitcoin Cash, then I would sell it. You could actively short it right now. Whoever it is that is buying that Bitcoin SV is either manipulating the price or really dumb. Yep, the $10 billion tulip fund. Come on, he's full of shit. It's so obvious that he's full of shit. The price is unsustainable and BSV is on a crash course when Craig Wright is unable to prove the private keys for the 1.1 million Bitcoin come the end of the month. Sell now. This person, I agree with them. I think that Craig Wright is out of his mind. Listen, there is no way that guy is Satoshi. He is too dumb. You ever listen to that man speak? Holy crap. It is like, it is so obviously, he is so obviously a rich guy that has decided that he's just gonna scam everybody. That's what I feel. You know, these kinds of people.
Says be careful, he's known to sue people who call him out, lol.
We've dealt with these people. They don't want to actually get involved in markets or anything like that. They think, oh well, Everybody else is dumb, so I'll just scam them and take their money that way. And I can just make up whatever kind of bullshit I want. And these foolish Bitcoin nerds that are complete idiots, because why would you invest in something like this anyways, are just going to give me all that they want and just completely fall for it. And you know what? Some people do. There's always going to be some people. What do they say? You can fool some of the people all of the time, and you can fool all of the people some of the time, but you can't fool all of the people all the time. And that's what's going on. Yeah, I'm glad that even though I took that trade and it was on trade, that I immediately knew that it wasn't working, and I got
Eric Cages says apparently there's a lot of people. Most people are kind of dumb.
Yeah. Well, and you realize not everybody has the same information in context. Anyways, I'd say sell it. But what are you gonna do? Treasury is going higher. We still don't know what's got the markets kind of. I still don't know what's got the market so triggered.
Gary Rich says Seth is having aneurysm with his quotes. Please call 911 for him.
Man. Yeah, I saw the video about. Oh no, wait, we already talked about that.
Live Action says China signing 11:30 Eastern Standard Time today.
Yes.
Eric Cages says most of the Bitcoin SV volume is coming from buy box. What's a buy box?
I don't know. This is just where I'm like, guys, like this is not. Look. So I didn't mention this, but I saw this last night. Look at the cumulative delta in Bitcoin. Okay. So where were we when we were last down here? We were over here. I don't know if you can see that very well. Let me draw a picture. We're over here. Okay. And where were we? It was before this whole run up. So on the Bitcoin futures, we had this whole run up, and then people have completely sold. So if this was all just people going along with the move, they have completely taken profits. If not outright shorting. I say the biggest change in the market that you get from having options, guys, options, okay, like the VIX, okay? The VIX, what makes the VIX go up, right? It has to do with puts to calls, right? But it's an overall measure of how much fear there is in the market. Why? Because people use options to hedge themselves when they are scared. So what does the introduction of options in Bitcoin futures do? It makes it easier to sell. It makes it easier to sell. You can buy puts. You can say, oh, I think that it's going to go down here, and you can spend $500 on it, and if it goes, then you're a millionaire, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't go. That's what it allows you to do. Is that good for the dynamic of buyers and sellers in the market?
Says, what the hell are you talking about?
I'm talking about Bitcoin has options on futures now. On the CME exchange, you can buy options on the Bitcoin futures, right? That is a net negative for Bitcoin. For Bitcoin price in the short term, it's a net negative. That means that it's easier to short Bitcoin. It's a net negative. And here it's buying it up, and everybody's like, oh, this Bitcoin's going up again. This is so great. Yeah, it's up, and it's at the same spot that
Eric
they've
Cages
been
says,
at.
does Bitcoin really have options?
Yeah, they have them on the CME futures now.
Gary Rich says, no, it isn't.
It is. I say that will the introduction of options add more buyers or more sellers to the market? And I say it's going to add more sellers. The people that are going to be most interested in options are going to be the people that want to buy puts. Because otherwise, why wouldn't you just buy Bitcoin? Why wouldn't you just go on to
Gary Rich says it's a paper market. You don't take physical delivery of Bitcoin, it's paper trading.
I don't think that really matters. I know that everybody's all uppity about, you can't get physical delivery
says
of it.
by May.
Yeah, it's just, the reason that the futures exist is for day traders, guys. Why would you want to?
Uzi Knesset says 700K by July.
I mean, I guess there's this whole thing of if you were an institution and you wanted to buy it, you need physical delivery and who handles the custody for that, and there's the backed futures, and there's that whole argument. But there's not a whole lot of people like that out there, guys. There just isn't. 20K by May. Nope. What can we? I don't think it'll happen. 20K. Well, let's say a new all-time high. I don't think that they'll make a new all-time high in 2020. I really don't. In fact, my numbers say they get to 13K and they're going to crash again.
Gary Rich says, yes, Seth. You don't understand how that market works on the options for Bitcoin. Please do not argue with me. I know what I'm talking about. Air Cages says Seth is just salty because he hasn't accumulated enough Garlicoin yet. He's trying to FUD to buy time. Tisk, tisk. Live Action says futures for hedging against large positions at night too.
So here's my challenge to you, Gary, because you can say that you know more about it than I do, and maybe you do or maybe you don't.
Lucas says, why are we analyzing BTC instead of treasuries?
Because we're afraid to trade the treasuries right now. Listen, you can say that you know more about it, and maybe you do and maybe you don't, but I would suggest that you make an actual argument about why that is not the case. Because here's the thing. Who is going to be buying all of these options? Who are these people that are super interested in options on Bitcoin? I'll tell you who. It's people that are going to hedge themselves against it going down. It makes it easier to sell. It's just like when the futures went live. Except for that now I can go outright short, and I can define my risk, which I couldn't just do straight up with the futures, right? It's going to add more sellers to the market. And they're buying up to a level that they have not been able to get over. They are not getting more transactions on the blockchain. There are not more people in the market. I don't know you could do it today, but I just point to what you see in the volume here on the futures. That is a curious. I suspect that somebody went short there. But that kind of suggests that this move up is not necessarily sustainable. Like that, they're pumping it. They're pumping it, and they're going to try and, once everybody gets on board, they're going to bail. And then you're going to get it, something where like it goes up to 10 to 13K and then just completely dumps again. You don't trade options? Then make an argument, Gary. You can just say, no, you don't know what you're talking about. But hey, listen, I tell you what, I would absolutely love to just go and buy put options. Go and buy put options on the futures. That would be great. That would be great. Must be a report due. I forgot about wheat. 10 spread has no activity and very thin. The thing is there's not like a ton of people trading the Bitcoin futures anyways, right? But there's a bigger issue here, right? Because people said that the introduction of futures would allow institutional investors to come into Bitcoin, and they never showed up, did they? And then they said that the backed futures would allow that to happen, and it still kind of didn't really do anything. This move up, to me, has no basis in fundamentals. There's not new people coming into the market. It's just somebody with too much money buying it up. And if one guy comes in and decides to buy $1 million worth of Bitcoin, it moves the price. That's what's happening. And there's an issue, though, which is that once he gets so high, the the price is unsustainable. Everything sells against him because they almost have to. So I look at it on that, and then I say, okay, well, you got options. You can hedge yourselves. Who's going to be the most interested in using those options? It's going to be the people that are long Bitcoin or the people that are short Bitcoin. You know, I want to hedge myself. I'm going to buy puts. Anyways, I'll turn it back on. Well, do it and stop talking about it. You know what? If it comes to a spot where I can do it, and I think I would have to look at the margin requirements, obviously. But if I was able to short Bitcoin for like if I was able to buy a put option for $500 or something like that, I would totally do it. I would totally do it. At the right, and my indicator was like at 200, let's say. There's no rationale during a bubble. You're right, Eric Ages. I mean, there's like a level at which, or I don't want to say a level at which there's a point at which like reality just doesn't matter to these people, right? They're just gonna buy, and until all of the people that want to buy are done buying, it's gonna continue to buy. The thing I don't understand about the market's reaction to this latest one is this is like the third or fourth time now that we've had a push up from above 6K, between 6K and 10K. All of the other ones fizzled out. What is it about this one that makes everybody so excited? Especially if Bitcoin SV is pumping. I mean, come on. That is like somebody is just waiting to dump it on you, man. Hey, look, if we had gotten to the 13.5 and we had held it long enough, it would never have hit our stop and we would have gotten the 2 ticks. Maybe I should have held that one. I think, though, that a buy would make more sense at some point. I don't know if I can do it at 12. It's close, though. Oh, I really don't like the liquidity. Why is it so light liquidity? It's just this this trade war thing.
Lucas says at UZI Knesset, did you finally buy at highs? I did, cause whenever they form that one tick node after the break, it usually keeps trending. Had to take a -1 lol.
This right here. So do you see, let's analyze the 10-year here a little bit here. Okay. So these right here, significant amounts of pulling and stacking. What is that? 630. That's the news. Okay. So that's how this works. Okay. This one is the overall stacking and pulling. This is all orders, and this one is just limit orders more than like 2 spots out. Okay. So what happened here? There was news. A bunch of people went long here, and you can see it kind of happen. Plenty of retail people involved in that move. Okay. So we come up. There was this spike down that created a spike. Same with this one. Okay, but then finally we got the big spike right here. And what happened? Immediately 2 tick stack. Right? All of the retail traders get in there. So they're waiting for guys like Lucas to go long, and then they'll take their profits on you. I still got room for a pullback, says Lucy. I don't know how to read those charts, Seth. So here's what I'm saying. When you see a spike, which means a price that is reasonably higher than everything else around it, then there is a high probability of pullback. Because what it says is that all of the day traders have participated at that point. You can also do it with volume. Like, okay, 4,500 to 56, 10,000. We bought 10,000 up. There's not going to be a pullback. You know what I mean? Especially without like really active market. Yeah. So that's why I was trying to take a short right there, even though it was like it's going up. But like you guys were saying, like it's super scary, and I thought it was super scary. But look, it would have worked. It would have worked. I think he would have been in it way too long. But U.S. and China phase 2 talks may not start soon, according to Global Times. The signing of a phase 1 deal may not lead to phase 2 talks anytime soon, while trade tensions, additional tariffs, and U.S. investment restrictions on China will become the quote-unquote new normal, a source told the Global Times. Anyways, that's what I think might have happened to us. But like I said, it's not a for sure thing, right, Lucas? Just the big caveat to that. It's a 60%. When we studied it, it was 60%. 60%. I didn't study it on the minute chart, so some of those 40% losers might have been icebergs. But supposedly the stat is 60% chance of it turning. So when the market's really moving and trending, they're going to blow right through that. But is it trending right now? It doesn't seem like it is. It seems like that the market is scared. I feel scared. I feel nervous to trade it. Like the thought of trading it makes me nervous. Because you could just get this big move out of nowhere. You know? Okay, Gary asked a question. Explain to me how the futures can move Bitcoin when you can't take physical delivery of them. You can do this on any other futures contract, but not Bitcoin. Think about it. It's a cash settlement. Easily. Here's how. If there are more buyers in the market or rather more aggressive buyers in the market than there are sellers, then demand will overcome supply. And in order to meet that demand, price will have to move up because they're going to buy up all of the people that have limit sell orders. And vice versa. If there are more aggressive sellers than buyers, then those sellers are going to hit into those buyers and move price down because the demand from the sellers is going to overcome the supply of buyers. And this is what moves markets. So if we introduce a new exchange or something that there's somebody out there, they really, really want to sell Bitcoin, like myself, and they can't do it because they can't define their risk with the way that Bitcoin currently works. But then you introduce a new product like options that allows them to clearly define their risk. I can buy a put, and if I'm wrong, I lose everything. And if I'm right, I make like 10 times my money. Yeah, that's a good deal. Then there's going to be more sellers in the market. So straight up, there's probably going to be more sellers in the market, and that has an impact on price. And I say, if everybody's buying it right now, because who knows, I don't see a fundamental reason to be buying Bitcoin that lasts more than a few weeks. You know, there's options, I guess. Are they doing it because of the options? If they're doing it because of the options, then they're falling into the same trap that caught them when the CME futures went live and they went short. And I'm just saying, I see some odd behavior in the cumulative delta on the Bitcoin futures. There is an unusual amount of selling on that pullback between 89 and 8,700. Seems to me. They're really, actually, you know what, Lucas? They came back way more than I expected. Isn't that interesting? They're still kind of giving you 12 there. That's it right there. Okay. That one actually didn't turn out into as much of a spike as I thought it was going to. Let's see if it just stops me out. Okay. Ooh. I don't think that I would be able to do this without that. Oh, this is the E-mini starting. You know what? I shouldn't have taken this one. Okay, well,
Lucas says no. Ace taught us never to place trades at market open.
I did not realize what time it was. Well, I'll take my licks on that one. That one should, for stats collecting purpose, we won't count this one. Because it was the E-mini spike, and you ignored the E-mini spike. Totally lost track of what time it was. Okay. You gonna do it? Well, there's the buyers going. So it's a slower E-mini open than I expected. They are buying it back though. That seems to make sense to me. Seeing it against me like that makes me feel super awful. Buyers. Oh, I need to minimize my Bitcoin one so I can see behind it. Okay. Significant downtick that time.
Ace Trade says at Lucas the one day I don't announce the 2 minutes to open. Lol.
Right. While we were going so much into the Bitcoin and the other things. You know what happened is you guys, I had the debate yesterday, and so you guys have me in like argue mode. we haven't argued on stream in a while, have we?
Lucas says face with tears of joy, you see now why we need you.
Oh man. Okay.
Ace Trade says a guy could make a lot of money by going the opposite of my calls today.
Oh, you took the one short. Did you take another one that I missed? I was really tempted to take that short when we were doing it. I don't necessarily believe in this long in DES, right? Like they could come back up to where we were. So here we are at 87. Oh, look at that stop run. Ooh. A good stop run. Are they going to continue through a little bit? They're not seeing the volume in the 10-year come through.
Gary Rich says here comes a turn tick-tards.
Yeah. You think that the E-mini is going to turn there? Interesting. The Treasury.
Gary Rich says get some.
Treasury actually ticks up. I mean, that was a real stop run. There's a possibility that the E-mini exhausts there. When it's the open, you know, it can be super crazy. So I couldn't discount it going again. But the Treasury's
Gary Rich says NASDAQ led the turn.
There. Okay. So Gary is talking about that he thinks the E-mini is going to turn down. It's too early for me to take a trade in the E-mini. Okay, there's iceberging at 11.5 now. I honestly don't know which way this is going to go. If they're going to stop me out or not. Well, look at that. They're holding it for now. 1,800 placed on the offer at 11.5. Okay, there you go. Stop me out. It's okay. Shouldn't have taken that one. That one was not a spike. It was the
Gary
uni
Rich
open.
says earnings are coming in fine so far. All the estimates will essentially beat.
Yeah. I was looking at my Goldman. It didn't sound very good though. Oh yeah, man, I'm a little ADHD today. Think that Bitcoin SV is moving up because Craig Wright files notice of complaints keys have arrived. Blah blah blah. That's all that they care about on the r/BTC subreddit for whatever reason. You know what? That one video that I have is, will Donald Trump be impeached? And I think I was saying that it's unlikely. Okay. What were we doing? Closing that one. Oh yeah, Goldman Sachs. CNBC. No.
Live Action says this open looks like this will be the 67th day without a 1% pullback.
Well, they sure did buy it on the open, didn't they? The problem with this is that you're just getting range extension, right? So we could probably draw some lines here. Maybe not that. Maybe if we just did this one.
Gary Rich says at Live you remember those records of no 1% pullbacks also.
So what I would expect to see them do is try and stop out people on both sides. So the buyers are going to be stopping people out. It's going to go a lot further than we expect. And then assuming that there's not news that makes what the situation truly is much more clear, you could see it turn back down and just go to the other side. ZB really hit the wall there, 158.22. Bitcoin and buyers can ignore most exchanges and not miss a thing. That's so funny. I'll have to read that one a little bit later. I don't think I have a good, maybe it should be from here. I think the buyers still have some room. Okay, we are getting some activity here. Is it enough? That's about equal to this one. Still kind of seems related to the E-mini open, so I'm not so sure. I would need to see movement here to be able to tell which way the spike was going, which way they've overextended. Okay. Pretty thick there at 11.5. Oh, we're right back where we were for the news. That's interesting. Yes, it's just volatile. I don't know what to think about it. Like when I'm trying to see like where is the expanding pattern, can't I can't see it. Be interested to see where John would draw his lines. Maybe 3292. That would maybe make sense. Oops. Oh man, I just deleted something. Oops. I deleted my hourly bars. No. You don't necessarily need them. Maybe I'll leave it like that for a bit. Okay, so this turn right here in ES, maybe the most. Let's see if they do it. This is looking more promising than any of the other cells that we've had so far today. A lot of volume at 3289. Treasuries at 7K iceberg at 11.
Ace Trade says possible short at 3,289.00.
Quick, well, that kind of lines up with what I'm seeing. Curious. I don't see that in the chart. I'm just seeing it in the order flow. I don't like the volume profile location of that.
Ace Trade says let it hit a few times.
Yeah, let it hit a few times. The treasuries are thick right there. Look, there's a lot trading back and forth at 11 and 11.5. Yeah, the E-mini is definitely slowed down. I think I should take it there.
Ace Trade says nope, get that off the table.
I don't like, well, I was just looking right here, and it was like 60, 50, and then all of a sudden it's 100.
Gary Rich says according to my dark magic ta, 10 years is ranging between 128 to 132 midpoint 130 for the past 5 months on weekly candles, play the ranges.
Okay, well, I mean, if you're playing the ranges, that at 10K iceberg at 11 looks awfully nice. Don't know about that one. So that's a big iceberg. Are they actually going to bid it up at 11.5 though? Okay. So there they hit 89.
Harlequin says normally I would look long in S after such an opening drive, but I am not confident with the news coming today. Is there a time?
11:30 is when we get the well, there's no like specified time, but we expect to get it sometime around 11:30. Okay. Nope. That's not what I want to see.
Harlequin says so in like almost 2 hours? Having trouble with us times grinning face.
No. It'll be in like 4 hours. Oh no, in Eastern time. It'll be and it'll be about in 2 hours. Yeah. I mean, there's the beige book too, so I would just say wait for beige book. Yeah, this one's I don't think is working out.
JB says I guess those screencast links don't work in your chat?
I not in if you post any link in YouTube, I won't see it. There will on the Discord though.
Lucas says I think no link works.
Yeah, if you want to send me a picture, just put it in the Discord. Well, I saw the turn there and everything, but this doesn't look right to me. No. Everything else is green too, which is like
JB says done.
oh, okay. So he's got an expanding range there. I got out a little too early. Could be scratching it here. The Treasury might be giving me one here that I have to take. Yeah. Okay. I feel like this one's not going to work, but it looks on plan, so.
JB says ZB is falling all over itself to liquidate.
Right? Well, I can't believe. Okay, look
Lucas
at the
says
uni
next
there.
target between 07-08. I don't trust 09.
So I definitely was correct to feel concerned about my long in ES, or my short in ES. I saw the possible turn, but they didn't go for it. I tried taking like the higher end of that profile. Probably should have waited a little bit longer.
Uzi Knesset says still waiting neutral face. JB says cum delta 8,727 since the RTH open.
Oh, really? In the 30 year? Or in the 10 year, it's kind of we're actually still positive in the 10 year from what I can see.
Lucas says I like 04 in ZB. JB says yes. JB says minus 9,619 now.
I mean, mine doesn't reset at the session, but it looks to me like that on the regular session that we're generally up. it really looks to me like somebody really bought on that and then now is getting screwed over. Like possibly somebody big.
Uzi Knesset says I want a longbow today. No takey shorts. Face with tongue.
Oh, really? Okay.
Lucas says up finger.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Lucas says longbow's higher prob.
I don't know. I still see a couple of guys that could be stopped out in treasuries for sure, lower.
Uzi Knesset says being stubborn. If I don't get one, I don't get one. Person shrugging.
Gotcha. That one, I took 9.5, right? No, I took 10. Okay, so price wise, maybe was not right, but contextually, that one, I think you wouldn't want to fade that with as much cumulative delta coming back down on the sell side. I think that there's likely to see some selling. But I said that I was going to fade all of those, right? So I did what I said I was going to do, and remember that we can expect some of these to just not work overall. So up to kid 09. I'm gonna laugh if it ends up that I was just too early to that one. I'd rather sell it, but who knows?
Gary Rich says if S holds above 95, watch out 10 years longs.
Right? Well, ES is on a tear for sure. I guess they're saying that they are aware
Luis
of all the
Alarid
news.
says nice move in the YMS.
They don't want to be short.
Uzi Knesset says my stock portfolio is kicking ass at least.
The thing is I've been sitting here going like I would love to be long. Where could I do it from? I can't, you know. Where does it giving you a spot to do that? So you know
Gary
that
Rich
as soon
says
as
I'm
I buy
milking a
it, it's
cow
going to
tit on this
stop.
YM. Lucas says problem with 10 is you don't really know your risk. 09 could hold, 08 could hold too, then you have 07, and by the time you wait for 065 you are down 7 ticks lol.
Right. I got another spike, and I think that it was spiking the other way, so we'll see. Ugh. See that in the e-minis as like the way that bid is sitting there and everything kind of suggests to me that I could buy it here, but then I think that I'm gonna buy it. It's gonna do a little spike up, and then it's gonna come back on me, something like that, you know. Too much of an iceberg at 09. I don't know. There's been some big buy icebergs all over the place, though. Oh, they still that aggressive. Just say 32.94. Heck, why not?
Lucas says, what's with you and milking tits, grinning, squinting face? Gary Rich says, when I get double my ATR on 15 minutes I take profits. ATR on a mini is only 4, too tight, waiting for breakout.
You think it's going to go up more? I just got filled at 94. That means that they're gonna drop.
Uzi Knesset says ATRA? Damn, Gary is mad old school. Harlequin says him, if I had taken that long in a mini now would have been exit signal.
See, look, it's already struggling
Uzi
against me.
Knesset says respect, raised fist. Harlequin says extreme volume in short time at 94.25.
94.25? I see that. It is unusual, isn't it? Look at that. It knows. It knows.
Gary Rich says these instruments are my personal cow. I enjoy milking them. At times I get kicked in the nuts by the cow. Lol.
Okay, that'll let me out.
Lucas says haha. Harlequin says look, 880 volume traded in 3 to 4 minutes, usually exit signal, not confident to go for a short, because it is against the trends, but I always close my lungs after seeing that.
Gotcha.
Harlequin says asterisk 8,807.
There's some distribution at that price. I totally hear you. I mean, like, they're going long, but that made me really uncomfortable, man. Was going in it, and it was like immediately for against me. It was like, ugh. Okay, that one in the treasuries worked.
Lucas says here comes 07.
07 in the 10-year, yeah. Where does that... Well, that still puts us above levels from yesterday, though. Like, that's... So, like, there's this spot right here. 06 half. Kind of the spike is done with, if you see. I actually feel like that one was longs. Then it kind of struggled there, and there was some iceberging there, and then it pushed back down. I haven't seen that in the 10-year in a while, but it really feels like something is unwinding here, you know? Like in the 10-year, when I've seen it drop, it's kind of like it just kind of goes and there's no real warning. It just moves and the volume doesn't make sense. This one, the volume looks like unwinding. Like that somebody bought today and is royally screwed.
Lucas says I know, they seemed longs but that range held overnight. They then broke highs, so if it comes lower at PB, it will most likely not hold at 09.
Right. Oh, look, they're pulling back. $9K at 08. Hmm. So sweep down there in the E-mini to the 94 again.
Gary Rich says, oh, by the way, my ATR is set at 7, tells me the last 3 hours of the range.
Hmm. I want to go short the E-mini. No. Yes.
Luis Alarid says out of YM that was a tasty trade.
Good job. It came back in the treasury is really hard too. I feel focused right now. I feel too focused. Why do I want to short the E-mini so badly? I don't think that makes sense. I mean, we're green on all time frames. I think that if there was going to be a short in the E-mini, I would see a better candle setup to do it. I think I need to you know, not mess with it. That first short kind of made sense. The rest of this, I don't think it does. And the 10-year still out. There's that pulling again. Man. White House advisor Kudlow says U.S. estimates China trade deal will add 0.5 on GDP in 2020 and 2021. Says the toughest part of the phase 2 will be tackling the forced transfers of technology. New round of proposed tax cuts may be out in the summer. U.S. will take additional proportional actions if enforcement of claims falls under phase 1 of the U.S.-China trade deal. Goldman Sachs dumped its entire stake in Uber last year. Ooh. I did not realize that Kudlow was speaking. Yeah, Treasury tick back down. I was getting a little bit of a spike, but not enough for me to take a trade on that one. Okay. And they're hanging out at 94 pretty well.
Live Action says, Seth, is that news from Jigsaw?
I was just reading it on my squawks on Twitter. I really haven't had that Jigsaw one open. Let me show you why. So here's the Jigsaw one. I'll come over to day overview. So here's the news.
Gary Rich says they love to buy all-time highs on YM. Keep this going. My border collie needs gold teeth.
You can turn these things on and off. I just don't like that it's like it should take up the whole width of the thing. You can't like move them around or anything. I just, you know, there need more options for it. Okay, now that we have an inside bar here. You might be able to just buy it on the breakout. They're equaling it. They're not breaking out there yet. Oh. Maybe this time?
Gary Rich says, I'm out, not gonna be a hog, they eventually get slaughtered.
Yeah. Well, I have a setup. I mean, I have a setup. I don't know. My plan in the E-mini is kind of a little fickle here, but like it's such a strong trend up. I don't think that a long here is crazy or anything. Interesting that they're only giving me 0.25 there. Well, okay, so there is my like take it.
Live Action says there was news this and that YM would be strongest today, wish I paid attention.
Missed that one. Oh, it came back. Okay. Okay.
Luis Alarid says waiting on buying the 5 years.
The 5-year. Oh, like that. Should I bug out? Oh, let's see how fickle I am in the 10-year, or I mean in ES. Oh my gosh.
Lucas says buy the 10 with me, I could use some help.
Buy the 10.
Gary Rich says Amini needs to get above and hold above 95 for a bit. It's too fickle. Harlequin says Seth 96.75 was yesterday's high, risky to stay in after such a fake.
They're showing, so they gave me the long and then they did a shooting star. So it's already canceling the signal. And that right there on my thing, in fact, we'll see if that works. I got a long signal, and now it is effectively being canceled out on almost everything, except for like the multiple time frame stuff. Although if this is going to come back hard, it could come back to 3287. Ooh, curious.
Gary Rich says Nasdaq is stalling as well.
They didn't. This would need to be below 3293.25. So they're 2 ticks short still.
Harlequin says it was
Okay.
yesterday's high. So a really important level. Maybe you should have moved break even directly after he moved 1 tick above yesterday's high. No reason to stay in if it rejects, especially on bow.
Yeah. No, you know what? I mean, that all makes sense, but I wasn't aware of that level, and I was trying to trade off of this inside bar setup that I saw. And, it worked for a little bit, but it didn't completely go, and now we got a shooting star, so it's okay. So we just flip. This short is a lot more promising. Look at the treasuries are ticking up now.
Gary Rich says CYM just gave back clipping 10 PTS a smack.
Okay, so they're below the inside bar now. I'm just a little I'm looking at where I think it can go. And it seems excessive. I don't know. Got about 30 seconds left on this bar. Audio recap. Negative headlines have little impact on these markets. Well, the problem is that nobody's sure if the headlines are negative. Pelosi to name 7 impeachment managers. I wonder who they will be. It won't be Jerry Nadler and all the other guys that have been involved in this the whole time, will it?
Live Action says beans broke yes low.
I am seeing, so this turns out to be an outside bar down, but I'm seeing some significant amounts of volume at 32.93. I'm wondering, do I see anything on the level 2? I do. I see all of the guys down there at 89. I wonder if we got John in here. I'd be interested to see what he thinks about that turn in the E-mini. I posted the chart in the equity indexes room.
Harlequin says, will your stop stay there, or are you going to move it to break even or trail it?
I should trail it. I want it to go a little bit more than the 10 though. I have a hard time with that. Like I want to trail my stop, but I don't want it to get hit, you know? I guess I could trail it down to here. There was definitely some buying at 32.93. Will they hold it though?
Harlequin says, never forget you are against the trend, so better safe than sorry.
Yeah. I'm looking at this. I'm proud that I saw the shooting, star. I guess it ended up being an outside bar developing. I'm kind of a little nervous that it's not going to follow through. Well, there you go. Jerry Nadler
Rich says, I have a NASDAQ long at 78 short 40 just in case. Might never get there.
The impeachment managers, Jerry Nadler, Adam Schiff. Oh, surprise, surprise. Jason Crow, Val Demings, Hacking Jeffries, Zoe Lofgreen, Sylvia Garcia. That's maybe a little. Another tick. Come on. If 10-year came back to like 10, that would I think all would be right in the world.
Harlequin says, or move your stop to break even, so you won't lose money except commissions.
Right. Like, well, the question is, how much room do you actually have to give it to breathe? Right? Okay, there we go. Elizabeth Warren is a Joe Manchin. What the heck? Is a kind of a name is that on
Live
the letter?
Action says, I wonder if that changes when they call Shifty to testify.
I don't know. That's funny. That's a good thought at Live Action. It's going to be interesting. I mean, like the Republicans are going to do it the same way that it was for Bill Clinton, and then they're going to vote on whether or not they have witnesses. And I'm interested to see if it's going to be like they're going to vote on the witnesses individually, or if it's going to be like a full package.
On the S chart posted in Discord, grinning face with big eyes.
So do you agree then that it looks like a short? I don't know. It makes me nervous. It's not
Seth,
going.
when you put a trade on, the margin required, do you pay for that amount with a win? Then it pays for itself?
No. No, I mean, for it to pay for the margin, I'd have to make $50 off of it, right? So I'm not quite sure I understand what you're saying. When you put a trade on, the margin required, do you pay for that amount with a win, then it pays for itself?
Gary Rich says yes.
I would have to make $50 off of a trade for it to pay for itself. That's a pretty amazing trade. Maybe I should have it so that if I make $50, it just always take the profit. But okay, so we are seeing sellers now push the bottom end of the volume profile range. There was all that buying at 32.93. So
Gary Rich says or 25 in a win pays for half the margin required.
Okay. So are you saying that if I get half the margin required, I should take it off? Is that what you were suggesting? That sounds like that actually sounds like a really reasonable way to do it. I mean, if I get my target on this, it's going to be a great trade.
Gary Rich says yes.
Yeah, we could move it. I mean, here we're at the bottom end of this profile. If we move it to there, I think that's reasonable. Okay.
Luis Alarid says bought the 5 years.
You bought the 5 year. Curious. How often you trade the 5 year fairly often, right, Luis? I forget. We'll have people come in and trade the 5 year, and then I don't really ever get to hear how they do on it.
Luis Alarid says yes. Harlequin says 91.25 is VWAP. Let's see if S can break it. Nice short so far. Yeah. Winston's mom says good morning speculator Seth, did you sleep well after hours of live streaming yesterday? Hi guys.
You know, I did not feel well rested when I woke up today for some reason. I wanted to keep sleeping. I was telling them earlier when I woke up this morning,
says,
I was
Mom
like,
is here, I'm happy.
Hey, Mom is here. Is that what she is now? She's your all's mom. When I woke up, I was like, why did they not go after Pete Buttigieg more aggressively? They're like, everybody has already left him he's over.
Winston's mom says, and what the heck, I have to show up to ask everyone to please hit like. Guess that my archetypal role as the mother of ferrets here with the day traders. Hello, Gary Rich.
So my promotion manager here. Make sure to like and subscribe. Check out the Patreon link below, and join the Facebook groups. Join the Facebook groups so that I know who you are and I can come and find you.
5 years too.
If you could show me some stats on how you've done on the 5 year, even if it's not profitable, I would like to see it, because I've always been concerned to trade the 5 year because I felt like
Winston's mom says, man, the Elizabeth Warren-Bernie feud is not stopping.
No.
That's all over the news, and yet Les has dumped his papers, and that's an interesting story. JB says it. Seth, I posted a response to your previous chart in Discord equity_indexes.
Let's see. Looking at approximate measured move outside of the broadening formation, you see it going way down there. So I tell you what, on the one that I placed. Oh, okay.
Gary Rich says she is our den mother in this channel of squirrels searching for acorn ticks or points.
Ooh, I like that, John. Ooh, okay. So you're saying, we bring this over here. You're saying that the outside formation is from here to, what is it? Here, essentially. And then they'll come down to meet it. When I took it and I was looking at like what would be a really good target, I was seeing the
JB
hour
says
open.
Step 1 is to see if it pulls back inside the formation.
Yeah. I was looking to see them test the open of the hour. And then
Winston's
I
mom
kind of
says
moved
hello,
it just a
Gary
little bit.
Rich's cute puppy in the picture. I
To,
wonder if we can interest the puppy in a good squirrel hunt. Does he go outside to play, Gary Rich?
I moved my target just to account for the volume profile and everything. And then Harlequin was suggesting that if you get half of what you pay in the margin, that you should take your profit. So that seemed to all jive up well. So that's why I have it down there. I don't know. Like I got a pretty good trade off of it already. As I'm already sitting here thinking like,
JB
oh, I
says
should
I
just
drew
take
those
it.
lines at 8 o'clock Eastern Time this morning before the RTH Open.
Wait, really? Oh, I'm not drawing the same lines that you did. You're saying this one and this one. Ta-da. And well, I don't know quite where he's got it, but somewhere back here. Yeah. It's this red candle here. I got you. So we're close.
JB says that's a 30-minute footprint chart I used.
I got you. Now, I mean, so we've been going back and forth with these outside bar formations about how to draw the lines, and I so far our conclusion has been that it's just kind of an art, and that you're not necessarily taking a trade on it breaking out or anything, but it's just kind of more to help you understand where the market is moving. But when we had that move up, my very first thought was this is an expanding formation. Ergo,
Gary Rich says if you get 10 or 20% of the margin required in profits, it's still a profitable trade.
mm-hmm. Well, so 10 is 20%, right? Like, I'm kind of looking at it more from the perspective of what is the average range and what is the win percentage that I'm trying to get, and all that is how I figure it. That's why, anything more than 10 is good. I don't know though. It's kind of holding. It's kind of saying, Seth, you should just always take 8 ticks. Anyways, when I saw that, my immediate thought was, oh, we're in an expanding formation, so there's a good chance that when they're done stopping everybody out, that they will just immediately turn back around. And sure enough,
I2 Yanth Great says, hey Seth, how's Bitcoin?
how's Bitcoin? Well, they're doing pretty good. I am detecting a little bit of an oddity in the cumulative delta on the CME futures, that they sold a lot
Winston's
harder
mom
on
says
that
the sun
pullback.
conures are greeting the morning sun.
Yeah, look at this coming back on me. Sucks. Inside bar, and they're coming out above it. Is this the false breakout reversal because we're on an inside area? I'm not sure how to read that one. It's kind of fighting to stay above that 75. Yeah, 32.93.75. You see that? I'll set it so that it's right there. Right there. Okay, they push back into it. So if they come back out the other side of this, that's really positive for us.
Gary Rich says at Mom, my dog doesn't chase squirrels, she does ducks, chickens and laser pointers. She is nuts.
Okay. Okay. It's slowing down a little bit down here towards the bottom end of this thing. We still would have to get below, the 2291.75. And then that would be a break.
Winstan's mom says laser pointers. Lol, that's funny. My ferrets will ignore a laser pointer, but they love a cat teaser toy. Only Winston Ferret would watch the television.
Really?
Does your puppy watch TV?
So ferrets don't care about laser pointers, huh?
JB says PM'd you a second screenshot in Discord at Seth.
Okay, let me see. I'll just open it up here. Okay. So what am I supposed to be noting here? Oh, those were the two spots that he put where he put the lines. Okay. Still got some time on this bar, by the way. I don't know if that matters.
Winstan's mom says I don't think they see the laser pointer ferrets see in shades of red pink, or so I have read.
Now that I've started watching these 5-minute bars, I've kind of noticed how some moves do kind of time up with the time frames. Like it's almost like they want to make a certain bar red or green. Well, now it's just a doji. I don't know what to make of that. Okay. Well, Treasury seems to be in an okay spot.
Harlequin says buyers look stronger, to be honest. JB says the broadening formation started back around 7:30 to 8 o'clock Eastern Time.
Well, so that's a difficult one, Harlequin, right? Is the on what time frame, right? Like at the moment, it does look like buyers have some decent control. This bar looks like a hammer. Yeah. This bar is a hammer.
Live Action says at Gary Rich, that's funny. I remember as a kid my dog would jump in the water chasing the ducks, drove me nuts. Gary Rich says at MOM she barks at the TV when dogs are on but ignores TV stuff. She likes licking the windows in the car. Strange short bus type stuff. Lol.
It's getting close to the entry. I don't know. This is just the chart starting to remind me of all this nonsense choppy stuff that you can't read. The thing that I really liked about that short was that it matched up with my level 2. I'm still showing overextensions on the long sides, so I don't know. Here they coming back to my entry. It does look like there's some people getting stopped out of shorts now. It does look like cumulative delta is increasing.
Uzi Knesset says ZB may be turning here.
Yeah.
Harlequin says looking at 5-minute chart. We had only green bars until we broke yesterday's high. And then a small consolidation. I think they can still go for another try.
Okay. I mean, I had a great spot for a short. I suppose if this one is just not going to work out, then that's okay. I would have liked to have taken the profit back when it was like 12 ticks in my favor. How do I know that that's the spot to take it and that it wasn't going to come down to 32.88, you know? You know what I'm saying? Nope. But I guess, it's counter trend, right? Probably we could say it's counter trend, so take 8. Would probably maybe, well, at least in that instance, it would have been better. Well, that's okay. We took a few trades there in the E-mini, but it only come out to be like $13 or something. So we took very, very small risk, and we actually got that one to run. So I feel good about that. And honestly, here, now that they're breaking out, like, it could just flip there. Now it's not moving my triangle, John. It should move the triangle, right? Shouldn't it, like, immediately move the triangle? Maybe not. Maybe it doesn't do it until the bar closes, because I didn't change it to on every tick. I changed it. It's still on bar close, probably. And this one is looking again like you short it here. I don't think I have the time to do
JB
it.
says what time frame? Luis Alarid says YM back in play.
On my 5
Uzi
minute.
Knesset says ZB crapped out at midpoint last hour bar.
I mean, obviously, it
Mom
shouldn't
says
be
our
drawing
friend had this fancy tricked out truck and he once picked up himself to go fishing. I kissed the window to say goodbye and my lipstick imprint stayed there forever. Larry teased me for years.
Shouldn't be moving the bar,
Winston's
right?
mom says I have not seen mine chase anything but a stray mouse that wandered in from the barn. They caught a mouse once or twice and I had to rescue the little fellows.
Need to close this. Sorry, guys. Let's see here. I need to make a thing to notify me when it's over, when we've used all of our things. You had a great short against the trend. You shouldn't be greedy. At least in my opinion, honestly, 12 to 14 would have been awesome, or at least move it to break even after they felt the second time. Yeah, I probably should have moved it to break even. You're totally right. Oh, about 20 years ago, and I'm just playing with your one time frame job. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's okay. The funny thing though is that when I look at my little chart right here, it again says that it would have stopped up there. But it almost immediately overextended the other way too. So that looks like a really whippy trade that I wouldn't really have much of a, like, I had a really good edge all the way up until about here. And once it started doing that is probably when I should have gotten out. But once it started doing that, now you're getting this whippy stuff where, as a retail, I think it'd be really hard to define your risk and hold to it and everything. Anyways, but what I was saying, John, is the candidate should move because that was a higher high, but I'm pretty sure that the indicator is not set to draw on each tick, so it didn't move until the bar closed. But all we got to do is add we're trying to do this pivot stuff, so you have to have a bar close below the previous bar. So like this one right here would have confirmed this as a pivot high, I believe. And then this one right here would have confirmed this as a pivot low. So we need to do the part that says You know, when you have a bar close above the previous bar's close, whatever, then you know, this is a permanent pivot. Start looking for the next pivot. You just have to fill out those two cases, and then the indicator will work the way that we want it. Pretty cool. You could take 96 again, but yeah, no, I don't think so. Treasuries never gave me another one. I suppose they gave me one around here, but I did that one, right? No, it did not. I don't think that one counted. I got this right here. I got this one right here. It didn't necessarily give me a clear one the other way. Look at that, though. So this is something I gotta say about the indicator that I haven't seen in a while, but like, you'll get the big spike, and it'll go just a little bit more, and then it will reverse. That was kind of what was more common. Although lately it's almost been flipping on a dime. CNN breaking news: the entire Russian government is resign. Wait, what? That must be a joke. Huh. On a 5-minute chart, it should have been a pivot high at 32.97, followed by a pivot low at 32.9175, and now waiting for a new pivot high to form. Yep, exactly. I think we got that. Putin is speaking now about this live. Why do I not see this on Twitter? Huh. Yeah, that's weird. This is starting to look a little volatile at the highs in the E-mini. I don't know if they might stop some more people out, but I don't know if it's sustainable. No, that's not what I want to say. Wait a second. Okay. Had trolls last night in the chat room, and I went Googling, and this was happening all over social media. Well, I mean, there's always going to be. There's always going to be trolls in chat, always. Bonds ain't buying it. Trader warns a lot can still go wrong with China. I don't know how I feel about that one. I'm not necessarily seeing bonds like buying crazy because they're scared and trying to protect themselves. It is going up though. I don't know. Yeah, I still don't see anything about Russia. Huh. CNN headlines? Okay, let's look at CNN. CNN.com. Entire Russian government is resigning. Announcement clears the way for President Vladimir Putin to pass reforms that would weaken his successor's power. Sounds like shenanigans. Checking in here to see if there was anything. You know, it's funny that my original short would have worked. That's funny. It's giving me, I'm noticing though, it's giving me the right signals and they're just happening early. See that? That one maybe you could possibly take in as, that was the news though, wasn't it? Yeah. There's a little bit of, there's actually some fiddling around with the order book here. I'm guessing though that one might be because somebody just decided, oh, we're settling at the VWAP and I don't want to trade anymore. I don't know. I really wish I could have picked up something in the E-mini. I just continue to struggle with the E-mini, you know? For every one that I catch, there's like 2 or 3 small ones that go absolutely wrong. And I would much prefer to be more 50-50. Yeah. It may be the case that we need to try and find better continuation signals. You know, like here on this one, when it moved up, I know you can't see behind where I'm looking at, but we broke out at 32.94.50. You could have possibly have bought that when it came up even at 95 and then taken it off at 97 as a continuation trade. Ace, I missed a few calls as well. I went long 32.96.75 because of FOMO. Oh, yeah, that doesn't feel good, does it? Yeah, I don't know. We've been struggling, haven't we? And you didn't catch anything in that long on the open, did we? We could have taken at 7:45? Like what? We could have taken 32.90 long or something? Did you see any longs around that area, Ace? That time in the morning when they happily or not so happily set off for school is every parent's best few minutes of the day. Ace rates, we can breathe for a few minutes again until the world begins. They're just still going higher. I don't think that the current market action necessarily makes sense to me, but when we see the full text of the deal, maybe it will. And then they trade it for a day, and then maybe we'll have some stuff to base think better, you know, base things better a little bit. And maybe if once we know the full details of the deal, and that the headline volatility caused from all of that is finally gone, we can get back to more of a normal market. I don't know if that's going to make trading easier. I mean, it might mean very little volatility. When I'm dead, I'll see trade people. Anyways, and thank you guys for trying. You know, I did think that you were helpful in the E-mini. When we're all working together, it seems like we got some good stuff. I need a better edge in the E-mini, man. Like, I would like to know. I would like to have a better idea of when something has legs. You know, so that I could go for more than 8 ticks. That's the thing I'm feeling the most. Hit that like button, you masters. Oh, don't call them names. Hey, we got 7. That's okay. We got 10 yesterday. Today wasn't as good of a day as yesterday. Yesterday was in retrospect pretty good. And I did lose on the E-mini yesterday, but then there was that market sell-off and I sold into that and I made some money off of it. Another thought is maybe I should just be having the 4-tick stop and 8-tick profit just all the time. That would have given me the win for sure on that one. The other two only went 4 and 2. So whatever. And then again, I took one trade in the 10-year that didn't. Which was it? The first one at 12. Was the first one at 12? Yeah. Oh yeah. See that spike right there? That one was no good. Oh yeah, and then there's the one that I scratched at 13.5. Oh, that was the first one that I scratched. This was the one that I took at 12 that I got screwed over on. That one was the one that I shouldn't have done. That was the one at the E-mini. And then what was this one at 10? That one at 10 was right, but I was early. That's the one I missed. And then I got the one at 09. Back up the other way. Cool. So that strategy wasn't too bad. I didn't read it nearly as great. Yeah. That's okay. All right, guys. I'm done thinking about it. We have Super Bowl plans. We're going to hang out. Is the Super Bowl like this weekend? I didn't even know. You need to think about trading a 3 lot and take one off when you've covered your costs. Okay. No such thing as right but early. Well, yeah. So with this signal, the thing that I've found with this signal is that it very much has a tendency to signal overextension and reversal. But it often, the market tends to go through it. It's like if you think about a rubber band, like let's say that there's a rubber band and it's attached here and we're coming up and then it stretches it and then it pulls it back and it snaps it back the other way, right? And now as it's coming back the other way, the rubber band is loose, right? And then when it comes down to here, that right there is the rubber band going taut again. Just because the rubber band is taut doesn't mean that it's going to stop exactly there, right? It's going to bend a little bit further and then it's going to come back. And that's exactly what happened. So the stronger the market is moving, the more I've found a tendency for it to do that. And it's been lately they've been turning on a dime, but today that's the first time that I've seen it that was a little bit early. In at least this month. It was kind of doing that in October too, but 2 weeks from now, Ace Trades, I will rarely leave home in our main vehicle as a Prius so I can drive around and call me Mustang Sally. That is the most excellent sense in a movie. Try to get the tick. Well, I do think, JB, if I took three and then I took one contract off at the to cover the commission, and then where would the other two be? Would need to see how that all works out. Because I think the thing is like, so I have one that's at +3, and then I have one that is at +8, and then all of them are at -8, right? So for me to make money in that expectancy, I need my runner to run 12 to 16 every once in a while, right? So I'm not I don't know, but I really don't think that that's the problem. I mean, it would help. Take the second one off at what your technical analysis tells you is reasonable exit. Yeah. I mean, I think that would help, but I think that my problem is probability. Where you can take your winnings, sell them, and fund a futures trading account so we can help you redistribute your money. Oh, man. Yeah. No, I need a better... I just need a better signal. I mean, it was a good setup that I took. But it came right after a failed signal that I took long. So, I don't know. It needs work. We need to find something that has a good 50-50 probability on it, you know? Yeah. We need to find get a better idea of when the E-mini is ready to run and when it's still going to stay in its range. I have some inklings of when that's going to happen in the 10-year, but not in the E-mini. So, whatever. I think that they might come back to 32.94 again. We'll see. All right. Done yapping. I will see you guys tomorrow. We'll keep working on it. And in the meantime, stay profitable, friends.